about have there been moments when you've thought, oh gosh, I can't do this, I really can't do this, whether it's like micro moments or long periods when you thought, I really feel undermined, my confidence feels undermined, I can't show up. Either of you have experienced like
being
that?
an actor, that's really difficult because you know, all three of us know it's that constant state of rejection and you know, kind of please, and you know, all that, and sort of
there's me over here.
That can really chip away at you. But I think also, you know, as young women, we probably all experience that not feeling very secure either about how we looked or how we came across. But then also, as you get older, you get to the phase where you feel invisible. And you start, I think, you know, going through the menopause now, it's that kind of feeling of sort of doubting my own... I've got all this experience and all this knowledge, and I'm still doubting my own abilities, and I'm still questioning.
What is that down to? Is that purely hormonal?
I don't think that
really
helps.
Annoying.
I think it's the constant state of being a woman and being in that sort of state of not being the queen, not being in the front of the crowd. It's always you sort of the also-rans,
but we should be. This is our prime in a way, because we're suddenly not at the point where we have to feel the same pressure to impress people.
Yeah, that's true.
We are women of immense wisdom, wisdom and experience. Wisdom, we hope, wisdom and experience. You know, we've got so much in our hands, and yet we are slightly sometimes.
I think society's not set up for that. In the past, it would have been the matriarchs would have been the wise women, the leaders, the healers, the people that people consult about stuff. And now the whole, you know, that's not how society's.
Well,
you can become invisible.
Well, I was going to bring that word up again, in the invisibility, because it's almost like if you're not sexually attractive, it's like, well then what's your role? But then you go to parts of the world, like in Africa, where you see there is that feeling that of older women having the power.
They're revered.
Certain
societies, you know, older women are revered, and you know, they're still seen as sexy, attractive, but wise, and I think that I don't think that our society caters for that, and it's really interesting that I felt a massive dip in my confidence, and it was just after the lockdown, and there were a series of things that happened. It was like a tsunami of very emotional events. It was a couple of years ago. And you realise during the lockdown, you're kind of holding things together, you know, with work disappearing, and then you're questioning, what do I do next? So I did think, what do I do next? And so I was having to gather all of that the information, the experience, everything that I had done throughout my career, and I thought, what's next? And then the tsunami of events happened, and suddenly I completely lost all confidence in myself, in my direction. I suffered quite badly from anxiety, which I'd never suffered from before, and it was quite extreme. And it was almost like I'd stepped out of who I was, and I was looking back, but I was completely separate. And that's when, you know, with the selective mutism and feeling very alone, very isolated, very quiet, I'd almost step back into that. And I thought, am I ever going to be her again?
Find your voice again.
Yes.
So what did you do, Claire?
So it was a series of things, but one big shift happened for me. Somebody asked me, what did you used to do that gave you a sense of power that you no longer do? And I went, rock climbing. And she said, why are you not doing it? And I went, I don't know. And so that afternoon, 4:00 in the afternoon, I was straight down to the climbing centre.
Wow.
I hit the autobelay, which is where you can just climb on the end of a rope and it winds you up and then you drop down. And I just went over and over and over and climbed and conquered, climbed and conquered, climbed. And then I was literally screaming at the top going, yes!
Wow.
And then I cycled home again and I thought, oh my God, something has massively shifted. Then I realized that I'd also connected with my voice when I was at the top and screaming and going, yes. So then I started to do, my breath had totally got trapped up in my throat. So I was panic breathing in this state. So threat response, constantly fight, flight, freeze, and couldn't think. But then I started to do the breath work again, the voice work, opened up the voice, but opened up physically. And I just went down to the climbing center, climbing, breath work, voice work. And then I just changed, my narrative, which was, you can't do this, you're useless. And I changed it to, I can do this. I have the power to do this. And it was, I didn't believe it at first. I had to actually literally write affirmation down after affirmation. Every morning I did a bit of coffee self-talk, drink my coffee, read the affirmations, and then kept building and building and building. It took time, but every time I went out to deliver a workshop, I just had that belief in myself. Every time, I worked with clients, I just thought, come on, I can do this, I can do this. And it took a little bit of time to reconnect with
I love that. So I'm getting two things. I'm getting, which I think is really important, is that, I don't know if you've read the book, The Body Keeps the Score.
Yes.
It's such a brilliant book about trauma and stuff getting locked in our bodies. And I think we can talk out a certain amount and rationalise a certain amount as human beings, but it's about getting things out of our bodies and doing the physical. And the other thing is the affirmations and how you start your day. And for me, that's really important. It's that thing of, I have to get up and face the day. I get out into the day and do something physical straight away. And it's something about that where
you're a great walker, aren't you?
I love walking. Go out with my crazy dog. I'm out marching around, fast around the heath, and it's something about, they say for the circadian rhythms, getting the sun on your face first thing. It's what puts the melatonin to bed, and you're sort of set up for the day. But I think there's those two things. So I love that, the physical, like seeing you screaming at the top.
Yes, connecting with the voice,
rock climbing and connecting and breathing, because it gets your the whole breath
rhythm
going.
And it's that body release work. Body release work before you do anything. If you're having a meeting, delivering a presentation, body release work, it just releases that tension.
What else do you do? What other kind of release would you do? A couple of quick exercises you might do.
Body shakes. I just love body shakes, but the whole body. Kind of that little gentle jump up and down, but then you bring the voice into it, and it drops the breath, then it drops the voice, and it just takes it down into the belly.
And how long do you do that for?
Just a few minutes. It doesn't take long to do that.
Probably on your own in the bathroom. Probably not in public.
Occasionally what I do is, and I do say this to clients, I say, even if you're on the tube, that rumble on the tube. You can hit that. You just go,
and you can join in. I love it. Crazy lady.
Crazy lady.
You'll always get a seat.
You always get a seat. I'll let the crazy lady have that seat.
She's a mentalist.
But just privately in the toilets or wherever, just have a shake.
The problem is a lot of people in work, they literally, they're rushing around in the morning, they're doing their breakfast if they're doing breakfast, or they're getting out the door, they're getting in the car, they're going to work, they're thinking about the work. It's all up here. Nothing's in place before they open their mouths, and then they sit there going, "Hello, everyone. It's really, I'm very excited to be here." So it's all there, because nothing's warmed up.
And why is that so bad? Tell us why that's so bad for you.
Because it's slamming the vocal folds together, which over time is going to create residual bumps and nicks and create rawness and friction in your voice. Your voice needs to be placed at the front of your mouth.
I'm starting to do it.
But it needs to be there in order for that sort of confidence. But
so what would you get people to do instead of clearing their throats?
Humming, as you're saying. Humming, rumbling, sort of almost like it's a mouthwash kind of thing going on.
You are really going to get that seat in the train. I can tell you.
But it's funny funny, you know, you wouldn't, as you know, I've said it, we all say it, you wouldn't do a marathon, well, I wouldn't do a marathon anyway because I'm a lazy old cow, but you wouldn't do a marathon without training and warming up on the day of the marathon, because all your voice is all cartilage and muscle. You need to have a regular, like you've got into the habit now, it's the regular, you do your affirmations, you do your warm up in the morning, you wait, so you're there, you're you're ready. Especially if you're doing back-to-back Zooms and stuff like that, it's exhausting. And vocally it's really, really bad.
And drinking is one.
Steady.
Maybe not the cocktails, but drinking water,
hydrating, all of that.
Not shocking your system to not having ice cold water as well. Would you say? Tepid water.
And it's difficult because you know, things like aircon and stuff like that, it just dries the atmosphere out. So it's making sure
I hate that, too much aircon.
This is all being moisturised and looked after. But
Is there a hack if you're outside the door and you're thinking, I've got to get in the zone, I'm not feeling like it, I'm feeling a little bit less than, is there something that you think, something that a go-to sensation, maybe something in your pocket you'll have in your pocket, or or a feeling, is there some way to get in the zone for you?
Yes, I think because I'm very, very self-conscious of where my breath sits, so if I feel that it's gone up here, first thing I think of is breath and grounding. And a little phrase is think tall, think wide. And in an instant there, you just go, think tall, think wide.
Sat up.
Oh, sorry. And but I think a useful phrase is I belong here.
Oh, that's nice.
So just simple, you're going, I belong here. Because sometimes if you check your own narrative, you might be saying, oh God, I don't want to be there. Or I don't want to be in this meeting. Oh my God, I don't deserve to be here. I shouldn't be here. But if you just a simple, I belong here.
Nice. What about you, Annie? What do you...
Affirmations are really good, aren't they? I used to do it as a bit of a joke, actually. I'm doing brilliantly.
You've taught me that one. I love that
But now I'd say it, and I actually... I'm doing brilliantly. And I've given it to other bit. I can remember once being in there, and it was literally in a doctor's surgery, and there was a young mum with a couple of kids, and they were playing up like mad, and she was really frazzled, and I just went... You are doing brilliantly. And she kind of
darling, that's so lovely.
And it was like, you know, because it's like we don't say it to each other, we don't say it to ourselves. So I think that's really good. The other thing is the Amy Cuddy power pose. That's really good. Sort of getting
She's very Boudica.
Very Boudica, standing open power stance. Again, it's that up, tall, wide, and it's taking the space, and it's just realigning things so that you can
Wonder
create
Woman,
that.
I call it.
But it does really impact the hormones. Just there is a hormonal shift.
And reduces the cortisol, doesn't it?
And then
Love
serotonin and endorphins. I do feel amazing.
I love all those things. I used to have a little Lego character that was given to me by one of my children, and there was something about having that in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put my hand in my pocket and I'd be like, oh, and then I'd feel the little Lego character, and it would just make me smile. And they say that, don't they? That it's if you can make yourself laugh, laugh before you do something, you get into it. Keeps your brain, expanded and divergent as opposed to convergent.
But this, because there's the exercise where you just laugh, you ask people to kind of just go ha ha, and then people naturally start to laugh, and then I'm going, right, where is your voice now? Where is your breath? And they go, actually,
I can see it.
Because they've naturally, and I said, that's when you're at your most natural, because you breathe naturally from there. That's where the voice comes from naturally, because you'll release the tension and suddenly everything's coming from there through laughter. Laughter is, it's medicine.
Balm to our souls. I love that. Yes, the ho ho.
Yes.
You start doing it as an exercise, and then people automatically laugh.
They're going, what am I doing?
Yeah,
silly.
So lovely. That's so great.